this is Kiran here from Superstars Therapy. I thought I'd just jump on here quickly just to talk about some tools that I use in the community and with my own children to help them concentrate when they're doing their schoolwork. And I think it's really useful just to look at what I'm showing you, but also just explore yourself as well, because every child is so different. I will give you the actual tool, and then I'll give you a suggestion of kind of things to try, at home as well that you might have available, such as like a hot water bottle. So so here we go. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that the ideal for a child is to be able to concentrate on schoolwork is for their sensory systems to be at a calm and alert state. So the optimum state of sensory regulation is that calm and alert, where they have had enough movement and also calm enough to be able to sit and concentrate. And not all children can get to that state on their own, so they may need help, and that's why these tools are really useful. But it's also really useful to make sure that children have enough breaks in the day, and when they have their breaks they need to be able to move as well, so that movement must be incorporated within their school day. So when they're having the breaks between doing their schoolwork, it can't just be sitting in front of the TV or sitting on a tablet. It needs to be some movement, because that is where they're going to get that proprioceptive feedback, which is really, really important for them to be able to feel grounded, calm, and being able to concentrate on their schoolwork. So yeah, I really, really encourage the movement. And then obviously positioning is really, really important as well. So thinking about making sure that their hips and their knees are at 90 degrees. So as much as possible. I like to use trip-trap chairs with my kiddies because I can adjust them myself. I know that there's quite a few people out there who are probably using stools at their breakfast bars because that's what you have, which is fine, and not all of them have that. Again, you have to use what you've got. But if you could just make sure that their feet are supported, so at least they've got some support, some grounding on their feet. So putting a box under their feet, putting a stool under their feet or something, just to help them just to feel more grounded so they can concentrate on their work rather than being able to sit upright. Another thing that I think is really, really useful is just making sure that we really think about the environment that they're working in. And it's really difficult at the moment because there's so much noise going off. I know I've got 3 children, me and my husband are working, so there's a lot of noise in the background. So, I'll talk about some things that are going to help with that. But yeah, just bear that all in mind when we're thinking about whether our child is being able to concentrate or not. So things that I think are really useful, let's go on to them. A moving sit cushion. So a moving sit cushion is just that, really. So it allows a child to move while they're sitting. So they're getting that vestibular movement, they're getting that proprioceptive feedback by moving, which is really, really lovely when they're sitting. And you can get that tactile feedback by you sitting on this side. My own son prefers to sit on this side. So you can sit on either side and you can pump it up to your optimum, like whatever you want, whatever suits your child. Mine likes a bit of a cushiony, not too much air in it, so that it's got loads and loads of movement, because he's up and down like a yo-yo if I don't put this in place. And also it's got that angle, which is really, really lovely because it gives you that anterior tilt, so your pelvis is anteriorly tilted, just to encourage you to sit up like upright against gravity, so that you can do your schoolwork much better. So that is that kind of like a really nice sitting position. So that's lovely. If you haven't got one of those, and you might have a wobble cushion knocking around, or you feel like getting a wobble cushion, these are also brilliant as well. Same thing, wobbly one side, nice and clear on the other side. This is really blown up because I use this more for balancing on, but you can use these to sit on as well, and you can get these from so many different places. And again, blow it up to what you think is desirable for your child and what your child needs. How much of a movement does how much does your child move? Just play around with it, because you just pump it up and then you put this thingy back in, the stopper back in. If you don't want to buy one and you're not really sure whether it's going to be useful, just try a hot water bottle. So just fill a hot water bottle with water, not too much, just half fill it, not fill it with cold water, make sure it's sealed up, and make sure the head of it is kind of out the way, and just get them to sit on it and see if it makes any difference in their concentration. See if they like can report back and say, yeah, that was useful, or whether you can see that it was useful. So that might be a really good idea, just to play around with like a hot water bottle to start with, just to see if that's useful. Talking of hot water bottles, another thing you can do is weight a hot water bottle. So weight is lovely. I love weight. I mean, I use my lap pads, which I have bought from Amazon. This is a weighted lap pad, which is just amazing, and I like to pop it on my lap. I like to throw it on my shoulders when I'm doing my work, if I'm feeling anxious, which is lovely. But also I like to pop it on my child's legs as well when they're feeling anxious. So this is really nice as well, really nice and grounding when they're doing their work or when they're concentrating. If you don't want to buy one and you're not sure whether it's going to work, that's where the hot water bottle comes in. Fill a hot water bottle up with water, or I have done in the past, filled it with lentils or rice, like dry rice and dry lentils, just so that it's extra weighty. So it kind of mimics a weighted lap pad, and just pop that on the lap. I've had parents who've sewn together two of these kind of wheaty bags, and sewn two together and put them in a pillowcase and just pop them on the child's lap, which is quite nice as well. But it depends how much weight you need. Some of them are weightier. This one's not very weighty at all, so this one's not very useful. So that's really good to use. And another thing that you could try is using something like this, which is a resistance band. So you can either have a resistance band while they're concentrating on, watching Bite Size or something, and they can sit and use it to pull on, or they can fidget with it. But another thing you can do with one of these is wrap it around the legs of your chair, if you have legs on the chair, and then they can kick back on it. So you can get the child to play on it for a bit so they can get used to it, and then encourage them to use their heels or their feet just to kick back on it, just to get some sensory feedback, so just to get that proprioceptive feedback while they're doing their work, which is lovely. Another thing to use is fidget toys. I prefer things that are stretchy or squeezy, and this is one of my favourites. I've probably put him on my grid before, but he's lovely because he's not too distracting, and which is one of the things you really need to look for, is a fidget that's not distracting, and it's just nice just to get some proprioceptive feedback when you're doing it. So he's really nice just to have when you're watching something to do your work. Another thing that's useful is ear defenders, and these are really useful for trying to block out other noises when you're really struggling to focus, if there's too many noises going off. Again, don't encourage your child to use them all the time. Just get them to use it when they finding that they really need to concentrate. So I don't want children to be so dependent on them, but it is a really good tool to use, and my children use them. And another thing that I find really useful is my children, well, one of my sons, he likes to chew his t-shirt or his pencil a lot. So you can get chew jewelry out there. I mean, I've got these, I put them on wrists so they don't lose them. And these are just chew jewelry, and they are just bracelets that you can chew, which he likes to put around his wrist, and he'll just chew it while he's writing, or he'll just take it off and chew it, which doesn't bother me at all, because he chews it when he needs to, and then he stops and he does his work. So he's just getting that feedback that he needs. So he really needs that proprioceptive feedback through his jaw. So he's really seeking that. He gets it and he's done. And then also, because I know he needs it, I'll give him crunchy snacks. I'll give him a sports bottle. So he's got to really suck on that drinks bottle, so that he's getting that interoceptive feedback as well, so that internal sensory feedback as well, just to help your child just feel really organized so they can do their work. But yeah, so I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, please ask me. I have cut this short just because I don't want to make it too long that I can't upload it. But yeah, so there's loads of things out there that you could buy, and when they do have the sensory kind of sensory or special needs tag on it, the price does shoot up. So if you are wanting to buy something, you can't figure out where to buy it from, I'm happy to help you find a place place that I think is quite useful, and a place that I have recommended to clients of my own. But yeah, I hope that helps. Take care. Bye.